Hey, everybody, Coach Troy here now. I just took a walk for the second time through the twisted mind of Neil Patrick Harris in Box 2, and let me tell you what I thought about it. Box 2 is a sequel to Box 1, the Neil Patrick Harris designed escape room experience for one player. It plays in about an hour, though it took me a little bit longer, and I will get into that later. And it is actually repackable, so once you play it, even though you're not going to play it again, you can pass it along and give it to somebody else to play. This is produced by Theory 11, which does mostly playing cards and puzzles, and they're known for just having super high quality products. Like their playing cards, they look very, very nice. The puzzles, the art style is just superb. Like I say, they spare no expenses, and they make very, very good quality products, and this game is no exception. In fact, I was extremely impressed by the quality and just the production value of what I saw in here. And I'm just going to show you some things, like when you first open the box, this is what you got here. So not really a spoiler, but just when you open it, this is what you're going to see right here. This neat little kit with a key, and you've got to have this decision of open the box. You have two different options. You can open the left box or the right box. What are you going to do? In fact, they make a very big deal about what are you going to choose, left or right. Just a giant, giant deal out of it because it's going to affect what you do from then on. And outside of the physical components, you will need your phone as well, maybe a computer, because you're going to have to go online and go to a website and do some things like that. Now, I'll just let you know right here, for a second, I was a little nervous because it said I was going to have to work with a partner, which I really didn't want to do. It was like, I like to do these at my own pace, just kind of go slowly, problem solving, take my time. I didn't want the pressure of working with somebody, and it kind of looked like that was going to be the case. But that was just, that's not a real thing. It was just a bot on the computer that was acting like another person. So if you see that and it kind of throws you off or kind of like you don't want to deal with that, that's not a thing. And then the story, of course, the story is that this is a puzzle box and you're in some kind of competition and you're trying to work with other people to get it done. They have one half, you have one half, working together online through a bot to get the puzzle solved. It's a challenge put on by some puzzle master that's apparently somewhat of a genius, a contest that started in the 70s, whatever. But yeah, you're going to work with a partner online, solve the puzzles, and go from there. So a fairly interesting story, and of course this is Neil Patrick Harris, and so there is going to be some kind of a twist. What will it be? What will it be? And then there are the puzzles themselves. And, this is the basis of any kind of good escape room game. You're going to need a decent story helps, but it all comes down to the puzzle and the execution thereof. And that, unfortunately, is where we have some issues. There are some good puzzles, but there are a lot of issues as well. First off, there is the working with the online person. So a lot of these puzzles, the online thing is there to help give you hints and kind of guide you, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like you're solving puzzles so much as just following instructions. And I felt that was a big issue. There are puzzles in there, don't get me wrong, but a big part of it just kind of feels like they're giving you instructions, telling you what to do, and then you're just kind of going through the motions. That being said, you still have to solve the puzzles, but again, with those hints, it shouldn't be too difficult. Second problem there is a lot of the items in here, they're used multiple times, so multiple purposes. And working with that chatbot thing, you will run into the issue of you may be solving one part of it, you think you're going on from there, but the chatbot is asking for something completely different, and that really threw me off. Like, I got super stuck because I was like, I already solved this puzzle. I found this piece. Why does it want me to do something else with this item? Because everything has a couple different uses, and it wasn't really explained, and so I'd say it took me a long time. It got me stuck right there. I thought something was broken. I thought I screwed up somehow, and I actually had to go online to kind of see what is going on. Where did I screw up? How do I fix it? Do I reset, or is it too late? The second part is there is a darkness aspect. You have to look in something that is kind of dark. And I'm a little older, I'm well into my 40s, and so my eyesight isn't the best, and it was super, super hard for me to see certain things, more so than in other puzzle games. Every now and again there'll be an issue in a puzzle game where my eyesight I have an issue, and I normally don't blame the game for that, but this one was distinctly difficult to do solo, and I definitely could have used another set of eyes, a younger set of eyes, and I don't know, this one just seemed way too difficult. And I could see, even if you have perfect eyesight, making some mistakes along the way that I did. And another problem is I've got a bad arms, but normally you don't really need to use both arms when doing a puzzle. I mean, it helps, and I have adapted pretty well, I think, to only having one arm these last couple months here, but this game in particular there was some things I had to use. I had to use my phone or a flashlight or something, and it was just so difficult with one arm. So if you're a one-armed blind man, this game is going to be extremely difficult. I got so frustrated, and not in a good way, because it wasn't the puzzles that I was getting stuck on. It was my ability to actually do the puzzles. And I don't know, I haven't had that kind of an issue before, or not something I haven't been able to work around, but this one it was not very good for somebody, and I'm not even in bad shape, but it was a huge hindrance. In fact, it got to the point where I just broke pieces of this game apart so I could work with them better. Not just to break the puzzles, but just so I could actually see and work with the puzzles better. Kind of a shame because, these games you can repack, and this would be a great just kind of gift and hand on and let somebody else do, like I did with the first game. The first game was fantastic. I gave it to several people, had them solve it, we talked about it, loved it. It was great. This one, though, I didn't even care because I don't want to pass this one along. I don't think it is as strong to give to somebody else. Now, that being said, some of the puzzles in there are great. Some of the ideas are super cool. And again, with the production value on there, they're very, very well done. But it was just the way in which it was put together, unfortunately, made it so difficult to actually do and work with, and frustrating. Like, you were easily thrown off course and whatnot. Now, one thing, of course, I did like, though, is with this being a game from Neil Patrick Harris, he was in there. He had, there are some videos of him talking to you, just like in the first one. And it was really cool because, I like him. He puts on a good act. He's just fun to watch. He's got that cool personality. And so that was really great to see. It was just a little frustrating in how it was delivered. So at the end of the day, I just unfortunately can't recommend Box 2. I just don't think it was that good of an escape room game. If you want to do it, feel free. There is some cool stuff in there. There's some really great ideas that I think are fun to explore and fun to see and to work with, but I just think the way it was delivered was subpar. I mean, the fact that you're working with someone online or faux online, I think there was the idea that you would be working with somebody, but they weren't able to quite do that, so they just kind of scrapped that half of it and then put it together like this. I don't know exactly what, because it seemed almost tacked on and very strange and unnecessary. So if you want to do it, you want to play it, you go right ahead. Just temper those expectations. It is not nearly as good as Box 1. I loved Box 1. If you haven't played Box 1, you must go out and try it. This one, not so much. So let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy it more than I did? Did you enjoy it less than I did? Did you play Box 1, and how do you think this one compares? And if you are interested, I am going to do another video where I just kind of go over my experience with this game and how frustrating it was. I guess just a little bit of therapy to let it out, all right? This is Coach Troy, and I will see y'all next time.